Welcome to the State Capitol and Manufacturing Day. I'm Paul Lavoie, Connecticut's Chief Manufacturing Officer, and I am so excited to be here today in the Capitol. You know, the Capitol's always been a home to innovative minds, and today at our Manufacturing Connection Fair, we're going to have some of the most innovative minds coming through and roaming through the halls here at the Capitol. It's all about the past, the present, and the future of Connecticut manufacturing. And today we're here to talk about the future. The Manufacturer Connection Fair is going on right now in the lobby. There will be over 600 kids that will be coming through to meet with over 30 companies and be able to connect and learn about the great manufacturing careers that are available in the state of Connecticut. Now, none of this is not possible without, and this event is actually a creation of Representatives Liz Lenehan and Representatives Kara Rochelle. They started this career fair at the Capitol many years ago. In fact, when I was at Cary Manufacturing, I was here with a table. And then as I became Chief Manufacturing Officer, Representative Lenehan reached out and said, hey, let's do something a little bit bigger and do something a little bit better. So very excited to have both Representative Lenehan and Representative Rochelle here. And we're very, very happy that the Office of Manufacturing supports this connection fair here. So Representatives Lenehan and Rochelle.
Thank you so much. And also, you're much taller than I am, so I'm going to put that down. I have to stop going to press conferences where I'm the shortest person in the room. Thank you so much for asking me to be here today. Welcome to the Student to Manufacturer Connection Fair. Paul, you are absolutely correct. You were one of our first exhibitors at the fair. And then I was so excited when you were put in your position because you really, really do understand what manufacturing needs, and that's continuing this pipeline. Right? We need to fill the pipeline. And that's what this event is about. And I want to go back really quickly to when I started this fair. It was in 2017. And the reason it happened was because I went to a manufacturer in my district, then known as EDAC Technologies, and now it's Hanwha. And I sat there and I said, how can I best help you? And they said, we need to get in touch with kids who actually want a career in manufacturing. Too often, these companies were going to college fairs and career fairs where there were a million different careers, a million different colleges, and it wasn't really pointed directly at manufacturing. So I said, well, why don't I just do that for you at the Capitol? And that's how the Manufacturer Student Connection Fair was born. What's been really great is it's steadily growing over the years. And not only are we having people coming in, kids coming in and meeting with manufacturers, we have kids interviewing for internships. We have college students last year who are actually interviewing for jobs. We have companies that filled their summer rosters with kids from our manufacturing fair as entry-level people in manufacturing. And what I keep trying to tell everyone is that manufacturing actually now has a starting salary in Connecticut of at least $65,000 a year with overtime. And this is with no college debt. But what's really even more interesting is that these manufacturers are willing to partner with us in the state of Connecticut and the wonderful group that Paul has put together. And actually now they're creating their own programs. Like Hanwha now has the ability to bring students in, pay them as they learn, pay for them to go to college, give them benefit. And from a student who first met them at the very first manufacturing fair that we had, they're now floor manager making over $120,000 a year. This is what we're talking about. When government works to give opportunity, that's when we all thrive. And that's exactly what this is about. Now we talk about we have Aerospace Alley, which is the coolest thing ever, right? Now we've got a bunch of manufacturers in aerospace banding together to work to get people into manufacturing, women in manufacturing. It's growing. It's huge. There is no better advocate for manufacturing than the Office of Manufacturing here in Connecticut. And I am so thrilled for you to be a part of our manufacturing fair. 8 years strong we're going, and we'll see you again next year as well. So thank you so much.
It's hard to follow Rep. Lenehan. This program was her baby, and I'm so proud that she's let me join in the effort to really promote manufacturing to the next generation. I'm the daughter of a manufacturer. My father worked in the line at Sikorsky, and so from a young age, I really became aware of how a manufacturing job, a good paying manufacturing job, can create stability for families and a true economic future for young people. And so because of that, my first bill out the gate when I was a freshman legislator was to expand manufacturing training into more comprehensive high schools. And I also inherited the first and fifth most economically distressed municipalities in the state at the time, which meant that my residents were struggling financially. I can proudly say that we're down to 14th and 18th now. We're moving in the right direction. And I think that part of that is because we put manufacturing training in a comprehensive high school. Today, thanks to Rep. Lanahan and her team, and we have 600 kids here. 3 of those schools are my schools, about 70 kids here from Ansonia Derby and Emmett O'Brien Peck. And manufacturing is something that, it's really important to promote because it is a pathway into a stable middle-class lifestyle in Connecticut. It is a growing industry, from the fastest growing industry, and we have thousands of open jobs right now as we speak. So this is a true future and a true career path for young people. Thank you.
American dream, baby. Yep.
Thank you. Yes. So Representative Rochelle asked me if I saw her army this morning, and that is the 70 students from her district. So when you have 600 kids go through and more than 10% come from one district, that certainly shows the passion and the commitment as well. Connecticut was the first state in America to form a bipartisan manufacturing caucus in 2012. And since then, 6 states have followed our lead. Now, the question I asked is, what are the other 43 states thinking about? But it's always super proud to know that we were the first state to do it. We were the first state to say manufacturing needs the support of both caucuses, and it is not a political issue; it's an economic development issue. One of the co-chairs of we have tremendous help and tremendous support at our state Senate, and one of the champions of that is Senate Republican leader pro tem Senator Henry Martin. Senator Martin?
Hey. Thank you, Paul. Liz, phenomenal job. Really, for 8 years of doing this.
Thank you so much. Thank you for always being there too.
Representative Rochelle, likewise with you. It takes more than just one side of the aisle to make things happen here in the state. And kudos to the manufacturing sector. 14, 15 years ago, I was on the board of Chamber of Commerce in Central Connecticut Chamber of Commerce. And I don't know if Paul and myself knew each other then, but through the years we got to know each other. But it was the outcry, the banging of the drum from the manufacturing sector that led the way to where we are today. So thank you to the manufacturing industry. You told us about, and we heard. It takes not only the banging of a drum, but you got to listen. And as legislator, that is part of our role, is to listen. And being on the Chamber of Commerce, we are so focused on economic development, working with Senator Hartley, working with as well as the co-chair from the House, Representative Metzger, as well as Chris Anskovich. Our focus is primarily on listening to what the business community is telling us. So the manufacturing sector banged the drum. They told us about what was going on 14, 15 years ago. It began with attrition, but it also talked to us about, our students do not hear about the manufacturing world. They do not hear about the jobs, the jobs that were existing, the attrition that's taking place. We've got a problem, state of Connecticut, and I'm proud to say that the legislature has listened to the manufacturing as a whole, because not only do we encourage students now to look into the manufacturing, we passed legislation that encouraged or had I hate to use this word mandated, but legislation that had the State Department of Education to encourage counselors to share the manufacturing world to the students, and now it's even in the middle schools. So we are listening. Today, there's more listening to do, I'll say. It is, we've taken that first step with the students, but I think now we need to, and I was just at the Capitol, and I talked to two different manufacturers. They're talking about bringing in teachers to be exposed to the different products or the manufacturing sector so that they could actually do the hands-on with the kids and show them. And here's a little something here. And this is from the Workspace group. And this is a prototype of a 3D dimension where they bring in teachers to learn how to use a 3D product machine, and then to go back to the schools and to teach the kids. So I think that's where we're headed now is just to continue what we've done here at the Capitol, but through the manufacturing. Thank you, Paul. Thank you to the manufacturers. You've opened the door up to an array of businesses that have now taken this model and saying, hey, we've got other jobs here in the state. And, but thank you for taking the charge on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, another advantage that Connecticut has over other states is that we have what's called the Manufacturing Innovation Fund. This Manufacturing Innovation Fund is a fund that was set up by the legislature in 2015 to invest in small and medium-sized manufacturers. My first budget as your Chief Manufacturing Officer, the fund was $20 million over 2 years. My second budget was $30 million over 2 years. And this year it's in the budget at $45 million over 2 years. And this is the way that the governor and the legislature show their support for the manufacturing sector by making sure that we have funding available to ensure the manufacturers, from a manufacturer with 2 or 3 employees all the way up to our largest manufacturers, are thriving and growing here in the state of Connecticut. I'd like to welcome and give a warm welcome to the chair, the House Chair of the Commerce Committee that does support the manufacturing sector, Representative Stephen Mesker.
I can't think of anything more important to the future of our state than the development of our economic infrastructure and the opportunity space that manufacturing looks at. You look at the issues with disaffected youth, you look at the issues of career paths. You know, when I was a child, the goal in life was to get a briefcase and a collar and a tie. And I think we've made a mistake in steering so many of our children into career paths that in some cases, unfortunately, will leave them to become a master barista at Starbucks versus working in the aerospace and defense industry and the other manufacturing areas of the state. You look at what's going on in the world, in a world in conflict, and you look at the anchor industries in Connecticut, which are widely based on the defense manufacturing, and the subset, the opportunity to grow our manufacturing suppliers, the opportunity to provide our youth with uplifting and remunerative careers in manufacturing is beyond belief. Everything from as basic as HVAC and plumbing and the tooling for our aerospace and air industry. There's so much opportunity here. You can count on us in commerce. And with my ranking from the Senate and with my ranking from the House and my co-chair, Senator Hartley, you can count on our never-ending support to grow this state. I can't be more proud than to be there in that position, to add to the funding we can to rebuild our state and to guide our youth into the tremendous opportunities. So I want to thank everyone for hosting this and for all your support to manufacturing. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's recognize now, we talked about the future, let's recognize the present of manufacturing. So we have a short video for you.
For 350 years, Connecticut has been the birthplace of innovation. From floating in space, floating in place, from racing for gold, to brewing the best coal, from powering flights, to just clicking auto lights, from high tech, to deep dive. Connecticut, if you can dream it, you can make it here.
Governor did an amazing job with that video. Thank you, Jay. Well, we're here today to make a major announcement. We are announcing the 2025 Connecticut Manufacturing Innovation Forum to be held September 11th at the Connecticut Convention Center. This is a forum that's been put together by a steering committee that includes the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame, ReadyCT, the Connecticut Center for Advanced Technology, CONSTEP, and the U.S. Small Business Administration. This forum has been reimagined and repositioned as a regional manufacturing event that will support the manufacturing sector. We have two major sponsors. CLA is here. Thank you, Brett, and ASML, as well as major sponsors of this manufacturing forum. And the way what we'll do is we'll have keynote speakers. We're going to have CCAT's hands-on tech island, national industry leaders. We're going to have interactive exhibits, and we'll have breakout sessions that will allow manufacturers to learn how they can continue to grow and develop their manufacturing business here in the state of Connecticut. We're also pleased to announce that that forum will be the home of the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame 2025 induction ceremony, where manufacturers within the state, and we're going to expand regionally, will be inducted into the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame, headquartered right here in Connecticut. The finalists will be announced this summer, and Rich DuPont from the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame is here. Thank you, Rich, for your continued support. Can't wait to see who's going to be inducted this year. And then we're also here to celebrate our past. If you go outside in the Legislative Office Building, you'll see the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame Innovation Wall, where we highlight 50 things that were invented here in the state of Connecticut. And the purpose of this wall is to make sure that people understand the rich heritage that we have in manufacturing while recognizing the current position that we play and also capitalizing on our future potential as an organization. It's a must-see wall. Please go ahead and take a walk through it as well. So, manufacturing, when I talk about manufacturing, I'll talk about, we talk about helicopters and submarines, and we talk about engines. We make the F-135 engine, we make nuclear submarines here, we make the Black Hawk helicopter. We have a very, very strong defense industry, and we have 4,800 manufacturers in our 5,445 square miles. So if I swing a wiffle ball bat or throw a wiffle ball anywhere, I'm going to hit one of them. So not only that, we also make the wiffle ball here in the state of Connecticut. And we also make this wheel, by the way, and it's just an incredibly light wheel, but this wheel is made by Princeton Carbon Works in Connecticut as well. And this wheel won 14 gold medals at the Paris Olympic Games. Incredibly light, but again, made here in Connecticut. So, Rich, you ready? There you go. Good catch. So that is your parting gift, by the way. You're going to let you leave with a wiffle ball because you can't put a jet engine, a submarine, or a helicopter in your pocket. And we invite you to join us as well. And before we leave, I just want to turn it back over to Representative Linehan for some final comments.
Thank you. I just want to say something really cool to wrap this all up. When you were talking about the history of manufacturing in Connecticut and the Manufacturer Connection Fair here at the Capitol, something that you guys may not know already, the gold dome of the Capitol was actually melted down to create ammunition during the World War. And now what you see is not gold, but it's a replica because it was so important for us to be involved in creating ammunition. This is really, really cool. It kind of brings everybody full circle. So when you head over to the Capitol and you head to the manufacturing fair, take a look up and just remind yourself that manufacturing in Connecticut, we could say, started with the fact that we took our own gold dome, melted it down, and helped win the war. So that's really cool. Thank you all very much.